Traders, how are you? Marcello here. Today we're going to be talking about Robinhood, the $12 billion valuation that keeps going down, keeps getting hacked, and in my humble opinion, keeps stealing from their customers legally. Now, unfortunately, Robinhood has revolutionized the industry in a bad way, thinking that everything is free. But I think that a lot of people, unfortunately, what has happened is they think for pennies and not in dollars. And now we're really paying, we used to pay, $7 commission for some of these trades. And I'm going to explain to you guys, I already did a video about how Robinhood is literally stealing our money legally, but in my opinion, that's what they're doing. And it's unethical. It's immoral, in my opinion. But now there was a recent situation where their accounts were getting hacked, and this is not the first situation that they've had. So let's get started. So if you guys don't know Robinhood, they called it Robinhood because everybody should be able to invest in the stock market. Everybody should have the opportunity with no fees. But what ends up happening with Robinhood, this is the most egregious, atrocious service that I have ever seen. And the image of the company is still very, very positive, and I really don't understand why. So if you guys don't know, I believe it was last week, October 15th, last Thursday, 2,000 accounts were hacked. And unfortunately for the users, there was nowhere to call because they don't have a customer service number. And it really goes down to this. Robinhood not only has had this problem right now, but they've had this problem before with system outages and other kinds of things. And I want to kind of go through this because if you have a Robinhood account, or if you are thinking of opening a Robinhood account, there are other companies that are a lot more reliable, provide a much better quality of service than Robinhood, and it's really that simple. So what happened last week? There was a situation where 2,000 users were affected with some of the hacks. They have 13 million users, which isn't a big percentage of people have gotten hacked, but I don't see, for example, TD Ameritrade or Fidelity or any of these other big names, E-Trade, getting hacked like Robinhood. And I think with the problems that Robinhood has had and the technology that they have, I think there's just something wrong with it. They just haven't invested properly, or they haven't developed it properly, because I don't see any other companies actually having the same problems that Robinhood has. And this is the comment from the company. We always respond to customers reporting fraudulent and suspicious activity and work as quickly as possible to investigate and complete the investigations. Security of Robinhood customer accounts is a top priority, and we take everything very, very seriously. Now, when people were trying to find out how to contact Robinhood, because they kind of try to be bare bones and not charge fees, that cuts into the pool of money that they have to be able to have extra services, for example, customer service department. So there was actually people that were watching take a look at this guy. He literally was watching $10,000 in withdrawals from the Robinhood accounts, and the firm wrote it would investigate and respond within a few weeks while her money is literally just gone. Now, see, if you had an account at TD Ameritrade, for example, or you had an account at Fidelity, for example, you would literally, this would be, oh, almost got me. All right, back to the video. So if you had an account at TD Ameritrade or Fidelity or Schwab, you would be able to call somebody on the phone. You would be able to go to an office. But Robinhood doesn't have offices. They don't have customer service numbers. So all of these people have literally just had to sit there and watch the money be taken from their account, wired, positions liquidated. This is another one. Look. He received notifications that a stock in Bitcoin had been sold from his account on September 21st. This was last month. And that $5,000 was transferred from Revolut accounts in 2 transactions. He emailed Robinhood for assistance while the transactions were pending, but received none. They've had more. I mean, you guys can just see the pattern of atrocious behavior. Now, one of the things that I wanted to show you is all the outages that Robinhood has. And if you just Google Robinhood system outages, you can see all the dates here. March, when we had that huge crash in March, if you guys remember that huge collapse in the stock market that recovered, people couldn't close their positions. They couldn't open positions either when it came to Robinhood systems. Another one from March, look, this is August. Why did Robinhood app go down this time? March 9th, May 18th. And there's a service down detector, this one right here. There, if you go to that website, you can actually see the number of times that Robinhood has actually gone down, and there's really no reason for this to happen. You guys can go to another company like Webull or Fidelity that offers the zero commission trading and really do the same thing and not have to deal with this kind of behavior from the customer. Now, this isn't the first time that they've had the issues with the outages. The last time with the really big outage in March where people couldn't buy or sell anything with the opportunities, they offered to actually pay customers as long as they wouldn't sue the company. Now, there's also another thing, and this is what I'm telling you guys about when it comes to being able to steal people's money. This is my opinion, and I've been in the industry now, if you guys don't know me, for almost 20 years, and I think this is literally unethical and immoral because what they're doing is they're sending your orders to a pay flow provider rather than to the market. And so the reason why they can offer 0% commissions, if I'm not mistaken, in an article that I'll try to find here in a moment to confirm at the end of the video, they are paid by these high frequency trading firms or pay flow operators 2.6 cents for every $100 of orders that they put in. Now, if you really put this into perspective, before we used to pay $5 or $7 an order. And now if they're getting 2.6 cents for every $100 that's placed in, can you imagine, if you have a $10,000 account, that's $260, $26, and essentially what happens is, and just to kind of explain this to you, this was actually made public by a gentleman named Michael Lewis. I highly recommend you guys read this book called Flash Boys. Essentially, what it means is, and this is a description from Wikipedia. I'm going to explain to you exactly how it works. Payment for order flow refers to the compensation that brokers receives not from a client, but a third party that wants to, quote, influence how the broker routes client orders for its fulfillment. It is controversial practice that has been called a kickback. So one of those companies, for example, is called Citadel. And this guy, Ken Griffin, who runs Citadel, literally now controls 41% of all retail trading. That means that the orders, instead of going into the stock market, into the open market, they're going to this company's account, this company's order flow, order books, and they're manipulating the orders. Now, how does this work? You tell the broker with a market order, quote unquote market order. I'm going to explain to you guys what that means. The market order basically means, hey, fill me at the best price possible. You put in the order. They have algorithms and systems that go in and see your order, and then they buy it and then resell it back to you. So if you're going to buy Apple, let's say at $125, they'll go in, buy Apple at $125, and then sell it to you for $125.01 or 0.0001 cent. So they're making fractions of cents and cents on every single position that we put in. And that's where Robinhood gets 40% of their revenue. So and this is why I say this is immoral, unethical, and absolutely egregious, even though it's legal, because Robinhood is literally in the front saying, well, yeah, we're Robinhood. We want to make sure that everybody has access to the stock market. When on the back end, they're literally allowing your orders to be manipulated. And the problem now is that they've revolutionized the industry because now every broker wants to do this, one, to compete with Robinhood to not, quote unquote, charge commissions. But at the end of the day, we actually pay more on the back end because what they're doing is they're manipulating our orders and we're paying more with the changes in price. Now, you don't, quote unquote, see it because what happens is they're manipulating the market prices, right? So they're sending the orders to these high frequency trading firms like Citadel, for example. And I don't know about you, I don't want anybody controlling a big chunk of the retail trading, no matter who it is, because that leads to corruption. And this guy is a billionaire, and they make billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. If you guys notice here, this guy actually controls 41% of the retail trading, like I said in the article, but not only stocks, but also options as well. And you guys can see here, Citadel Securities, which is the HFT firm where Robinhood is sending their orders, and they get 40% of their revenue. Look at the profit. $4 billion in first quarter of 2020. Now, let me make sure that you guys understand this and it's clear. That $4 billion, is coming out of your pocket and my pocket if you're trading with Robinhood. And now, obviously, a lot of the other brokers are doing it. So it's super controversial. It's super controversial. And one of the things that you guys have to understand as well, if you look at the CNBC article, hackers pay the most for Robinhood accounts. And the most likely reason is because you guys can see with the let's say the situation with the technology at Robinhood, the constant crashes, the hacks, all of this stuff, their technology probably isn't the best. So it's probably a lot easier to be able to steal your money from Robinhood, like the 2,000 people that you guys just saw. So I would highly recommend that you guys don't do business with Robinhood. One other thing that I wanted to show you here, this is an article that was compiled by Zero Hedge, that they receive by far the most complaints of any other broker as well. And if you guys see here, E-Trade, Schwab, Fidelity, all of these guys, even TD Ameritrade, they all do the quote-unquote free trading now, where it's commission free, which, as I just mentioned to you guys, is actually not free because we're paying it on the back end. They're manipulating the market price, and at the end of the day, we're actually paying more to put in our order. But it's a lot better if you guys somewhere else, because at the end of the day, Robinhood, it's just atrocious that they're allowed to continue to work. Not only that they're, in my opinion, stealing people's money, but also that they just don't have a good quality service. You can't even call anybody. If you have Schwab or Fidelity, for example, or TD Ameritrade, you can go to somebody's office. Somebody's stealing money from your account. You go and speak to the manager, and you don't leave the office until they resolve your situation. And you guys can see, now that may not happen to everybody, but the crashes and the market outages where you can't put orders into your platform, there's never a period in time that you should ever be locked out of your platform to be able to put in your orders. And what I'm willing to bet is that the situation is, since they're not routing the orders directly to the exchange, to the market, what's probably happening is that the connections between these order flow companies is actually the problem, because they have to go from your account to the order flow company and then to the market, right? There's extra steps, and that $4 billion that I just showed you that they're making, this high frequency trading company, remember that that's coming out of your pocket. It's not coming out of the market. So I would highly recommend you guys decide to go with another company, because the quality of the service that Robinhood provides isn't going to increase, and there's a lot better other companies that do the same thing. They steal our money on the back end instead of the front end, but at least you won't be locked out of your account, or your accounts won't be hacked. So they're worth $12 billion. They're getting hundreds of millions of dollars in investment, and they literally can't provide good customer service. So I would definitely be extremely careful and would not do any business with Robinhood. I personally use TD Ameritrade, and I've never, ever had a problem with them at all. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Don't forget to subscribe. If you guys have any questions, or you want me to do another video, there's another video that I did. Maybe I'll link it here at the end, where I talk about, how the scam literally that Robinhood is running in regards to the high frequency trading firms in a little bit more detail. So if there's anything else you guys want me to go over, let me know. And don't forget to leave your questions with hashtag AskMarcello, and we'll see you next time.